Alright, what up guys? James here, aka the Pomp, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to choose a pomade. So I've been getting a lot of the questions like, oh James, I have blah 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 hair. Can you tell me what pomade to use? No, I can't. I don't have your hair. And honestly, you should be trying pomades out yourself and figuring out what works best for you. But to be nice and to help kind of facilitate that practice, I decided to make this video and help you guys choose your pomade. So it's gonna be split into two. First half, we're gonna go ahead and look at the basics, like as in the most logical and most obvious criteria you guys should take into account when choosing your pomade, which would be like hold, convenience, and just like a few miscellaneous minor things. And that's how I will split up the first half. And in the second half, we'll talk about more intangible things that you should take into account if you are a very, how should I say it, a very detail-minded, a very picky type of person. You'll look into how the product is presented and also the aura of the company. Now, these are not to be taken lightly. These are actually really important things and actually speak a lot about the product. And so that's how we'll go about like kind of showing you guys how to choose a pomade. So for basics, we are gonna look at the strength slash hold slash control of a pomade. Then we'll look at the convenience aspect, and then we'll talk about a few minor things. So hold. Hold is basically how strong a product is. Like a lightweight product like Royal Crown hairdressing provides almost no hold. It's basically a product that just adds shine, slicks back your hair, keeps it all together. But let's say, for example, you try to basically style a pomp or get your hair to stand in any way, it will not be able to stand on itself. In fact, the product actually weighs the hair down. Now with a medium hold product, the hair will actually be able to be lifted and given volume per se. And so with the medium type of product, you are able to kind of style something that has height, such as a pompadour. However, in being different from a heavy, you don't get super like tall, or rather your hair can't really get overly tall, and also the natural characteristics of your hair can still come out and are still present. Now with a heavy hold product, these are when someone basically wants to, I want to be as unbiased as possible, but someone wants to take their hair and make it into something that it is naturally not. So a heavy hold product not only gives you, or is supposed to give you, the ability to style a really tall pompadour or get a lot of height in whatever hairstyle you're trying to get. It will also do things like straighten out your curls, straighten out your waves. In other words, give you more of the potential to create something despite your natural characteristics of your hair. Now, that is kind of the idea behind the hold, control, and kind of like the strength in the product. So basically, let's talk more about examples. Let's say you style a comb over. You're just gonna need a light product. Anything from like a light oil based like bacon grease by Pomp's Not Dead, or maybe even a medium like, let's say, Teddy Boy Original. Now this brings up the point of oil bases and water based products. So there's a huge argument across the board always about these things, and there are people that are diehard one way and diehard the other way. And honestly, you could, if you really wanted one of those blogs, then like you guys can go read about them anywhere else. But on the Pomp, I basically try to stay as unbiased as possible, and I actually use both frequently, switching between. And so the idea behind oil-based versus water-based, without going into too much detail, I'll make a side video on that some other time. But basically, oil-based, if you guys didn't know already, will basically not wash out your hair in one go. They are oil-based in that they are not water soluble enough to be washed out in one single like shower. The reason why people use that is because they typically enable a more natural looking hairstyle, as in let's say we're styling a pompadour, it's easier to get that spherical like pomp in the front, whereas with a water base you get much more hold typically, just like the weight like the strength to weight ratio of the product is a lot greater with water based products, so you can get taller, but it kind of lacks a sense of naturalness to it, and it's really hard to get that spherical. You can still get it, don't get me wrong, it's just like different. It's kind of like the difference between painting with an oil based paint and with like an acrylic paint. And actually you guys are probably not artists, so you guys probably don't know the difference, but if you do, that's the difference. You guys will know what I mean right away. So let's not talk too much about strength hold. We need to move on to other topics, so let's talk about convenience. So convenience is a big deal. It's not to be taken like lightly. Everyone cares about it. And so that's when the topic of oil-based and water-based really come to the forefront. It's because oil-based can't be showered out in one go, but water-based can. And honestly, for a lot of us, like, grease in the hair isn't gonna work. Like, whether it be that we work an office job and then the oil base can get on the collar and get annoying throughout the day, or we partake in some sort of athletic activity and the sweat and the grease on your forehead is going to give you some nasty like pimples and shit like that, and some of us just can't do it. And so water based is typically the better choice. I mean, it's not good for your skin either, but at least you can really wash it off more easily and more quickly, and it's less likely to give you like a shiny forehead on a sunny day. At the same time, lightweight pomades still have a convenience there. Lightweight oil-based products are relatively easy to wash out. Maybe they do go in one go, or maybe 2 showers will get them out, and that's kind of like a halfway between oil-based and water-based products, because you still have that convenience in a way, but it's like a halfway point. But then some people like to see themselves as purists, or like people who are dedicated to the classics, and so they use oil based only despite the inconvenience. But the advantages of that is that they can style like a pretty like natural pompadour, something that looks really nice at the sacrifice of convenience. And depending on your guys' activities, you guys' lifestyle, that all like kind of combines into like what is the best pomade for you. And so that's the major part behind convenience. And so now for like the miscellaneous and like the minor characteristics, you guys should also look into like the scent of a product. Like, what type of scent do you want? Do you want like a coconut, which is really common among pomades for some reason? Do you want like a fruity smell? Do you want a cologne type of smell? Do you want like a spicy thing? And that all fits into kind of like your style and your like presentation and the kind of the aura you're trying to go for. Also, another big thing is like the price range. See, some of you guys are gonna like see all these expensive pomades online. You're like, I want that. Oh, I want that one too. But at the end of the day, you may just be a zero income high school student and you can't afford to get a V76 by Bone or pick up some rail car fine goods like water-based pomade, because these are all in like the 20s or 30 range, which is actually pretty absurd for a 4-ounce jar of product. But another choice would be like Suavecito Firme, which are, or let's say like Murray's, which I don't have because I never use that, but like there are other cheap products that will do the job for you. They will get the job done. There's no argument in that. It's just they like lack in a few other like minor characteristics or like conveniences and stuff like that. But like people always care about like kind of building like street cred with the pomade they use and stuff like that. And so by using cheap pomades, you typically end up having to like deal with these people who are like, oh, you use Suavecito, that sucks, and like BS like that. Whereas honestly, like, you shouldn't care. They won't know unless they stick their nose in your hair, and by that point you can just like backhand them anyways. But like, people won't know, people won't care. Choose the pomade that works for you and is most importantly affordable to you. It's a hair product. You shouldn't lose your house over it. And so that's basically the basics of choosing a pomade. Now moving on to an even more sensitive topic, we will talk about kind of looking into the aura and the feel and the presentation of the company in order to choose your pomades. Alright guys, listen up, because the next few things are actually some of the most useful and most effective ways to kind of choose the pomade that will work best for you, but they are commonly overlooked by everyone. But let's start with an analogy. So, blah blah blah, you guys know what kind of clothes I wear, but you guys don't really know how I choose my clothes, like the mindset in which I choose my clothes. When I choose my clothes, I'm not gonna go to like the cowboy store, because I don't see myself as a cowboy. Why would I go to a cowboy store? Even if they do have like a nice pair of salvage jeans for some reason, I don't care. I'm not a cowboy. I'm not gonna go to that store. Like, I'm gonna go to a store in which I see eye to eye with the designers, or the purpose of the store. And each brand or store has a purpose or general feel to it. Like, if I see eye to eye with that designer or the owner of the store, then I will go shop at their place, because they have the same mindset as me. Like, I mean, I do care about the individual products, but there's a general feel that's really important to find in relation between you and you as the consumer, and them as the owner, manufacturer, creator, retailer, and stuff like that. And so in terms of pomades and stuff, it's important to find someone or a brewer or company that sees eye to eye with you. Even more important, or even more effective, if you can find a brewer that styles the same hairstyle as you. Because if the person's styling the same hairstyle with you, they would create a product for themselves that should also therefore work for you. Like, these home brewers make products for themselves. Like, they are using themselves as like the test, and that's how they judge how good a product is. And if it's good enough, then they decide to sell it out to you guys. And so I look for someone else who has like straight or fine like hair just like me and styles a pompadour, because I know if they make a product that they deem is good for them, it should also be good for me. And same as you guys, if you have curly or wavy thick hair, you should also find a brewer who has curly, wavy, or thick hair. To find out, you can look at picture. Everyone always has the pictures up, and you can find out. But you would find a brewer who has the same hairstyle as you, styling the same like feel, and then that will allow you to kind of get products that will therefore work in turn with you. Now, besides that, if that's too difficult, then you can always settle with the most forefront characteristic, which is the way in which a product is presented. Now, look at this jar of Railcar Fine Goods. Now, let's compare it to a jar of Suavecito Firme, for example. Now, let's compare those to Crown Pomade and Bacon Grease. See, these all have different feel to them. Not in literal feel, but in the way they are presented. This one has like a pretty like comical and pretty like kind of laid back design to it, whereas this one's like a very classy, very handmade type of feel. This one is tacky, but very attractive to like the typical high school like kid, or the typical kid who is like, I want to get a pompadour and be badass. Like, each product has a feel to it. I don't mean to talk down on any of them, but basically each product has a sense of aura to it. And if you are kind of attracted to the presentation, then whoever designed it, whoever made it, has the same taste as you, and they in turn will probably be able to style the same, not style the same, but style a product that will create a hairstyle that has the same aesthetics as you. What I'm trying to say is, because you guys find aestheticism in the same like design style, you guys are more likely to find the same visual pleasure in like the hairstyle the product allows you to style. And I hope that wasn't too confusing, but basically what I'm trying to say in this like half of the video is that it is really important to kind of digest the feel of the brewer, the feel of the company, the manufacturer, because it speaks a lot to what the product will allow you to do. Like if I see a very salon, like a very minimalist style jar, I'll know that I'll probably only be able to style like a very like Fox pump or very like metrosexual style pompadour with it. Or if I see a very like complicated like classic type of jar, I know that I'm kind of looking at like a traditional product that will kind of allow me to style the pompadour that I need. It's always not that simple, but you guys get what I'm saying. And it's really important to look into that and consider that. Basically wrap everything up. In conclusion, you guys should look at the strength of a product in terms of its hold and its control based on your own hair type and the hairstyle you want. After that, you guys should also look at convenience. What type of product does your hairstyle, what type of product best fits into your lifestyle? Whether it be a water base, an oil base, a light, a heavy, because we all do different things in our life, and no one product can fit all our different lifestyles. And also for minor stuff, you guys should also definitely look into the scent and how it kind of combines into your personal aura, your style. And also, very important is the price of the product itself. There's no need to spend a fortune on pomades unless you have the cash just lying around. Like, be smart about it, and like every single pomade would do the job. It's just, are you willing to pay for the extra little fancies that exist with the higher end products? In the second half, essentially the main thing I want to really push into your guys' mind is the idea of looking at the company, getting the feel and digesting the aura and the perspective of each company, because that speaks a lot to the product itself and how it will perform when you are trying to style your hair, and whether it will allow you to achieve something that you like. And so if you guys have any more questions, hopefully you don't, I'm so tired of those questions, but post them down on the video and I won't answer them. You can just see me ignore them again. But anyways, I hope you guys got something good from this video, and guys, I hope you guys are able to start like trying out pomades and going about it that way, because the best way to find out is actually trying the product. You can't sit back and read reviews and just like think you're gonna learn it. No, go out and try it. Just do it. If you're afraid of spending, just buy the cheap shit. Just go out and try it and you'll learn a lot. But yeah, so hope that helped, guys, and peace out.